Hello everyone, this is Remus and welcome to another R&R Partners video. Today we are going to discuss the insurance system in Romania. So, given that this is a channel for immigration purposes mostly, we are going to talk in the first step about the insurances that you need in order to get to Romania. If you are a non-EU citizen and you need a visa to come to Romania, and then at the immigration office, we spoke about on this topic about the private insurance and the public health insurance in another topic, so I will not go in depth on this topic. And following this part about the insurance for the immigration purposes, we are going to talk about the insurances that are usually made in Romania, the ones that are mandatory and the ones that you can take out from an insurance company. So the first type of insurances are for the visa. If you're a non-EU citizen and you want to come to Romania and you need a visa in order to come to Romania, you will need a long-term visa or a short-term visa. Be aware that in the visa procedure, regardless if you're going to get a D-type visa or a C-type visa, you will need an insurance. So at the Romanian embassy, they will ask you to provide the proof that you are insured for your travel, and you will need to provide a proper insurance. So if you're coming to Romania for long stay purposes, you'll need to show at the Romanian embassy a visa for long-term purposes. You cannot come to Romania for long-term purposes, for example, with a tourist insurance. And in case you are coming to Romania for tourist purposes, to visit Romania or to visit somebody you love or know, you will need to provide a tourist type insurance for the whole duration of the visa. Our recommendation is to take a 6 months travel insurance, because usually the visa, even though it's valid for 90 days, it will be issued for 6 months. So in order to benefit for the whole duration of the visa, take an insurance which will be valid for the whole duration. Now, if you arrived in Romania and you have a long-term visa, you need to know that you need to go to the immigration office and get a residency permit in Romania. In case you did not need the visa, for example, you're an EU citizen or you're a US citizen, Canadian, or from Japan, you will not need the health insurance once you come to Romania. However, arriving in Romania and trying to extend your stay in Romania, you will need a health insurance. The first health insurance will be a private health insurance, and there are just a few companies which issue this type of insurances. Our recommendation is to go with Omnia Sig insurance. It's a little bit more expensive, but in the past, like in 2019, we had a client which went with another company and the immigration office just didn't want to take the case and proceed in issuing the residency permit. Therefore, in order to avoid any problems that you might face in front of the immigration office, take an insurance, preferably Omnia Sig, because they have a special type of insurance. It's called Medirom. Usually if you take it for 6 months, so it will cover all the extent of the period that you'll need for the immigration procedure. It's roughly €55 and will cover anything that has to do with your stay in Romania until the residency permit is issued. Technically, after the residency permit is issued, you will need to go to the state health insurance. Now, given that we spoke about the immigration purposes insurances, we can go forward and speak about the mandatory insurances we have in Romania. If you own a car or you are thinking about owning a car, it's mandatory to know that your car will need to be insured in Romania. This type of insurance is called RCA, RCA, and usually it's for liabilities that you may find yourself in while driving your car. For example, if you had an accident and it was based on your fault for careless driving, who knows, the persons who incurred the damages will not go after your assets, will go to your company who insured you, and the company who insured you will pay the damages for all your deeds. So technically you'll own nothing, but it's also good to know that the insurance will go up next year. So technically it's a civil insurance for liabilities that you caused during the time while you're driving or somebody else was driving your car. Now, for the first year in which you'll have the car or you'll have this type of insurance, you must know that there is like a system of bonus malus, it's called. If you're a good driver, you'll pay less in the future, and if you're a bad driver, you'll pay more. Unfortunately, if you have one incident, it will be 2 years worth of higher payments to the insurance company until you have the previous payment to the insurance. I will not go into details regarding this insurance, as it's one of the most common in all Western countries, and most of you are well familiar with this type of insurance. The next type of insurance, which is mandatory in Romania, it's a house insurance. It's for natural disasters, earthquakes, fire hazards, and floodings. It's quite a cheap insurance, but also covers roughly 20,000 euro if I remember correctly. So as long as you have property in Romania, you need this type of insurance for the buildings that are on your land. The other types of insurance which are in Romania, there is also a car insurance. For example, we call it Casco. It's a type of insurance which insures you in case you do damages to your own goods while you are driving. So going back to our previous event, when you are at fault, the insurance company in this case will come and they will also give you the money to repair your car, and everything will go as nothing happened. However, these types of insurances are a lot more expensive and they are optional. So if you want, you can have one. If you do not want, you can go without one. There is also another type of insurance, for example, for lorries. If you own a lorry and you're doing international transport or transports, you need to have this type of insurance which insures the payload that you are carrying. There is also another one for taxis, but these ones are quite particular. Next type of insurance that we are going to discuss, it's the health and accidents insurance. The insurance company will insure you in case you have an accident or something is wrong while you are staying in Romania and have that policy. In case you get ill, they will give you some money back in order to go to the hospital or pay for the missing money that you have during the period that you are in a hospital. There are another 3 types of major insurances that are optional and you can make them. For example, one of them is an insurance for goods. You can insure your house against fires. The fires that I was talking about earlier and was mandatory were for natural fires, but this one can be, for example, if you left the stove running and somehow the house caught on fire, the insurance company will come and reimburse you the money to do the repairs necessary to your house. The second insurance is for liability. For example, if you're a professional, maybe you need a professional insurance, or if you want to insure your house against renters, or as the landlord, as the rentee against, I don't know, something happening with the house while you were living there. And the last type of insurance, and usually this is one of the most important ones, it's the life insurance. and life insurances are just getting very complex. You can have an unlimited life insurance, you can have for a limited period, you can have a limited type of life insurance which is also linked to stocks. So the best parts about this type of insurances, which are unit linked, is that you do not pay any taxes for the profits. At least this is the practice at the moment, and the fiscal authority from Romania, ANAF, does not ask to pay taxes for the income that you get due to an insurance, even though it's unit linked. Given that we have to cut this video short, there's a lot to speak about insurances in Romania, and this is just the tip of the iceberg. If you have any particular questions regarding insurances, you can contact us on our office address at office@rrpb.ro, or leave us a comment down below and we will reply as soon as possible. If you like this video and it was helpful for you, please give us a thumbs up. It really helps us as creators to see what type of content you are interested in and make similar content that you like and will be useful for you. Also, if you're interested in immigrating to Romania or opening a business in Romania, be sure to subscribe to our channel. We post twice a month and we are trying to do all of the Romanian bureaucracy go away or make it as simplest as possible for you. And if you want to be the first one who finds out about our videos, you can also hit the notification bell and you'll be the first one who will be notified when a video from our channel comes up. So this is for now. See you next time and have a great day. Bye.